Hello everyone, welcome to the KOREHUB. This is the Python programming series. Today we're going to study loops. If you have ever done any programming, you must have heard about loops. It is a very fundamental concept in programming and you need to understand it no matter what language you are learning. What are the loops? Loops are the iteration control blocks are used to repeat a block of code multiple times. If you have to perform a task repeatedly, you use loops. Many people know how to write loops, but we understand where exactly loops are used in real-world applications. Knowing this can make you stand out, especially in job interviews. Real-world examples of the loop. Imagine you are browsing an e-commerce website like Flipkart. You search for Mi mobiles and see a list of 411 phones. Each phone's details such as the image, description and price are displayed in a similar format, but the content is different. If you were to code this web page, you wouldn't create 411 separate containers for each phone. Instead, you would create a single container and use a loop to display it 411 times, fetching the data from a database. This concept applies to many other applications like showing restaurant listings on Zomato or posts on Instagram. Loops help in efficiently managing and displaying large amount of data. Types of the loops. Python have two main types of the loops, while loop and for loop. In this video, we will focus on the while loop, understanding the while loop. The syntax of the while loop in Python is different from other languages like C or Java. In Python, the condition is followed by a colon and the loop's body is indented. Here's a simple example to demonstrate the while loop. We will write a program to print the multiplication table of a number provided by the user. Example of while loop to print multiplication table. Ask the user for number assigns int, input, enter a number. Initialize a counter variable, I assigns 1. Loop to print the multiplication table while I is less than or equal to 10, colon, print number multiplied by I equals to number multiplied by I plus 1. Explanation. The first step, input. We ask the user for a number using input function and convert it to an integer. Counter statement. We initialize a counter variable I1 to 1. While loop. We use a while loop with the condition I is less than or equal to 10. Print the table up to 10. Number 4. Print statement. Inside the loop, we print the multiplication result using an F string for formatting. Number 5. Increment. We increment I by 1 in each iteration to progress through the loop. Example 2. Sum of the numerical numbers. Let's create another example of while loop to calculate the sum of the first n natural numbers. Ask the user for an input, n assigns int, input, enter a number. Initialize the sum variable, total underscore sum assigns 0. Initialize the counter variable, I assigns 1. Loop to calculate the sum, while I is less than or equal to n, total underscore sum plus assigns 1, I plus assigns 1. Print the sum of the first n natural numbers is total underscore sum. Explanation. Input statement. We ask the user for the number using input and convert it to an integer. Statement 2. Sum variable. We initialize a variable total underscore sum to 0 to store the sum. Statement 3. Counter. We initialize a counter variable I to 1. While loop. We use a while loop with the condition I is less than or equal to n to add each number to total underscore sum. Increment. We increment I by 1 in each iteration. Number 6. Print statement. After the loop, we print the total sum. Example 3. Finding the factorial of a number. Let's create one more example to find the factorial of a number. Example of while loop to find the factorial of a number. Ask the user for the number. Number assigns int input enter a number. Initialize the factorial variable. Factorial assigns 1. Initialize the counter variable I assigns 1. Loop to calculate the factorial. Factorial multiplied assigns I plus assigns 1. Print the factorial of number is factorial. Explanation. Input statement. We ask the user for a number using input and convert it to an integer. Factorial variable. We initialize a variable factorial to 1 to store the factorial. Counter statement. We initialize a counter variable I to 1. While loop. We use a while loop with a condition I less than or equal to number to multiply factorial by I in each iteration. Increment. We increment I by 1 in each iteration. Print statement. After the loop, we print the factorial. That's it for the day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to stay updated with the Python programming series. Bye.